I did like how this Batman was more detective-y, and we got a lot more Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
I love the scene where Alfred like points out that Bruce Wayne accomplished what Batman couldn't.
Yeah,
And it was like that was great commentary on his tactics.
Alfred was great.
Without question.
Alfred
Jeremy
was
Irons
fantastic.
Flawless.
He was so sassy and bitter.
The only flaw with Alfred was that there was not more of him.
There we go. All right.
Can we get the Alfred spinoff movie?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
No, I loved it when he's like, "Bring home a young, like reasonable girl. Keep on dreaming, Alfred."
Yeah. I hope the next generation of Wayne doesn't inherit an empty wine cellar, if there will be a next generation.
Oh, it's so good.
One thing, I can't decide if this was like a stroke of brilliance beyond my understanding or something incredibly stupid, but Martha, that whole plot point and that like connection that they have, because that was one of the things after watching this movie with Josiah, I was like, that was the first time I realized that Batman and Superman have the same names for their moms.
Yeah, me too. That was the first time I had seen it ever addressed in any medium. Like, I knew that they had the same name, but it never consciously, like, I was like, oh, they just have the same name. Big whoop. You know, there's a Peter Parker and there's other Peters in the Marvel universe. Like, the people share names. Like, but then in this movie, this is the first time that, because these guys are friends, you know, like, and hopefully maybe they'll be friends in this universe, but I'm saying, like, these guys are friends, and in all the Justice League episodes I've watched and all all the comics I've read, they've never brought it up. And they did.
So I mean, I guess in a way that's pretty creative that they actually addressed how they have the same name mom. But that being like a crucial plot point, that being the name that snaps Bruce out of his whole thing.
Well, it's because he remembers everything. It's not that.
Oh, exactly, absolutely.
Like, because he remembers that. Well, because the moment he decides to become Batman, or the thing that makes him become Batman, was his parents dying. So basically, and that's why he has the whole no killing rule. But so but for Superman, when Alfred says, "If this is how it always starts, the rage that turns good men cruel," aka Batman. In that scene, as he's about to kill Superman, he realizes that this is just a guy, and he has a mom too, and I'm about to take a son away from my mother, and then he stops, and I totally buy it. I know people make fun of it, but I'm like, but that makes sense though.
I'll split the difference. I think it works and it doesn't work in that Batman is so rage driven and committed, and not even going to listen to Superman. That like if he thinks Superman talking to him at the beginning is just trying to trick him, I don't know why. I get it. Like it makes sense. Like everything is hinged on it. Like Batman completely changes. And then the only problem I had is that he immediately calls him his friend in the next scene. Like, yeah, I'm like, well, that's not true, but still, like, it's honestly, not nearly as bad.
It might have been just him trying to comfort Martha.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a demon.
Hey, don't worry, I'm a friend. Don't be afraid.
Honestly, I thought what was a little stranger was at the funeral part when he says, "I failed him," and I was like,
"Yeah,
you knew him for like 20 minutes, bro." I don't think you had this understanding that like.
No, listen, it's like the end of Speed, where Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock get together because they went through a traumatic experience and they were closer because of it. It's like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. I used Speed. What up?
But how did he fail him?
Because he died. God died that day.
Superman chose to do that, though.
He didn't choose to die.
Yeah, he chose to. He chose to do
Batman could have done in that situation.
He chose to chance it.
Lois looks at him and says, "Clark, don't." Clark knows he's going to be committing suicide. Like
Batman
he knows.
Don't know that though. He wasn't next to him while that happened. Shit.
That's true, but he doesn't. But I mean,
he couldn't do anything.
Listen, he was just sad. It's a funeral, okay? People say shit at funerals.
I know. I would be sad if my friend of a day died in front of me.
They went through so much. Nathan, have you ever fought an abomination before with a god?
I like how now. Okay, so Nathan, did you like how he was just like, it's just a feeling? I can't remember if you.
No, because I didn't like how, obviously Darkseid was foreshadowed throughout the entire movie. But since there was already so much on the nose, bashing it over your head, get it? We're doing Darkseid. Darkseid's coming. Hey, Darkseid. Since there was already so much of that particular one did not stand out particularly bad.
I'm just trying to remember.
If you didn't know who Darkseid was, you wouldn't get that.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's the problem. Is a lot of this movie? It feels like they're trying to do a lot of fan service to the comics fans, but then they're also trying really hard. Like, it feels like they were trying too much to hit both audiences.
That's a lot really of want to please the
comic book fans with.
But it is.
Other superhero films have done it better, I think.
I didn't mind it, honestly, because there are characters that you mentioned where I'm like, wait, those were comic book characters? I had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Because for you as a casual audience member, those references didn't matter, and then for the people who are comic book fans, those references are like pointless and annoying.
Yeah, that was my point earlier. Is that why do the reference if it's not going to do anything for anybody, and it just is a waste of a character, basically? Because now they can never do a story with Mercy or Jimmy Olsen again. Like, you know. Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is that you're proving my point? Is that it's just like, you know.
I'm proving your point? Sure, I guess I am. I guess.
It's just shooting themselves in the foot. Like, because now if they ever have to have character molds that they would fit into, now it's just they're going to have to make a new character that's...
Should they have made a new character? Yeah. But honestly, with how these movies are going, do you think they're ever going to have a chance to really sit down and have those kind of stories in this universe?
I don't think they're going to have it. I think everything's going way too fast. Not just for this movie. I mean, like, in general, with everything.
Yeah, but that's a bigger talk. That's a different conversation entirely.
Yes, yeah.
We could have
refrain.
it. So I guess we're at the end of the movie. The funeral,
Wonder Woman.
The funeral scene was amazing. Where
they had the dual funerals.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. By the way, Superman dies. I forgot to mention.
Yeah, they do the death of Superman, and I mean, as soon as as Batman threw the spear, I was like, oh, they're gonna kill Doomsday with that. So there was no real suspense there, but. In fact, the first time I was watching it, I could have sworn when Lois threw the spear in that Aquaman was gonna fucking show up and spear Doomsday in the head.
Yep, I thought that's what was gonna happen.
Same. I turned to Josiah and I was like, wow, I wonder if some sort of water person could get that for her.
Yeah. And so then.
What's funny is something I was ready to complain about because I read like a little summary. I realized what the problem was before I saw this movie, I read a summary that said that Clark like stabbed himself like through with the spear and killed Doomsday behind him.
Like an Excalibur?
Yes.
I haven't seen Excalibur.
That happens in Excalibur.
Oh, okay. Well, that would have made sense because Excalibur.
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought that happened, and then I heard that Superman survived. So I was like, so by that logic, Doomsday survives because he has all of the powers of Kryptonians and none of the weaknesses. But then I saw that it was different, and that Doomsday was killed with the spear, and Clark was just stabbed with Doomsday bone. So
I will say the moment I cheered loudest was when fucking Wonder Woman brings out the lasso.
Yeah,
I was like, yes,
make him tell the truth.
Yeah, Doomsday's just like, I'm okay. Darkseid's coming. I'm so sorry.
Let's talk about all the allusions to the Justice League, and let's start with Wonder Woman and how they referenced her movie that has Chris, one of the Chris's, I forget which one.
Pine.
Yeah, I like how there's four Chris's, and DC got the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They got Kirk.
Yeah, I was like always like, okay, when's Marvel gonna use Chris Pine? Then all of a sudden I saw him in the trailer for Wonder Woman, and I'm like, they stole it. You know what? That's how DC's gonna survive. They have a Chris.
They have a Chris. But at the end of the movie, it's ironic is that they played Amazing Grace, and they clearly were hinting at a return.
So from what I got from Josiah's Transformer sounds, they did something very similar. You cut out again. Good try. From Josiah's Transformer noises, I got that the ending scene of Superman with Amazing Grace playing on the bagpipes is very similar to the end of Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, where they're having a funeral for someone who is alive and is going to come back. So I think that's interesting and cool, and a good tie-in with having Chris. I think I think that's where he was going with
yes. it. I did like though how in this film, I'm really happy they didn't bring him back at the end. I know they hinted he's gonna come back, but
thank God.
I like how they didn't do it in this movie though, because that was my issue with Into Darkness, where I was like, oh, they brought back Kirk. What the fuck? Like, I was so pissed. And I'm like, I'm glad in this film, the movie, when the credits rolled, Superman was still dead.
See, I'm in the middle ground. I liked that he wasn't, like, brought back, but I don't know. I almost wish that the scene of, like, where there's a very faint heartbeat and you see the sand levitating, I almost wish that was, like, either after credits or, like, if that was like the end of the Justice League film or something.
But they don't want to copy Marvel.
I know that. I know that's why they didn't do after credit scenes for it, but
which I like. I like that.
Of course. That's
by the way,
because
our theater booed when there was no after credit scene.
Yeah, they did. I was ashamed. I was like, listen, you can not like parts of this movie, but don't boo that.
Yeah. Like, wow, it's almost like they're not Marvel. Who would have thunk it?
Oh,
you just watched 2.5 hours of content. Be happy.
Yeah, like we don't need to stay for 10 minutes and then watch another scene. Like, no, we're done. This was a long movie. We're fine. We don't need to stay to the credits. I mean, we did out of respect, and out of like a vain hope that maybe, but we weren't. I didn't think there was going to be an after credit scene.
Yeah.
I stayed because I would have hated myself if I left the theater and then heard that there was an after credit scene.
See, I had a different experience.
It could have been.
When I saw Batman v Superman, I thoroughly unenjoyed most of it. So I did not bother staying around for the credits because I knew that there was an after credit scene. I was like, oh Jesus, I want to go home.
But I think we're pretty much done. I was happy to see that they basically did the Cyborg origin story in 2 minutes.
Even though I did not comprehend what happened.
No.
Like, Miles Dyson found a cube made up of T-1000 stuff, and it, like, conveniently just hopped up on Cyborg's non-existent dick and, like, crafted a body for him.
I'm sure
which is really nice of it. I'm sure they'll explain it in the Cyborg movie. Hopefully. I hope. But if they just, like, have that little origin teaser and then have, like, a full-on Cyborg movie, I'll be like, what the fuck?
I wonder how many people have only seen Teen Titans were confused by Cyborg being in the Justice League.
Right.
As I'm sure people were confused, like, wait, wasn't Cyborg part of the Teen Titans? And it's like, well...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's fine.
Not now.
Jason Momoa's 2 seconds were good.
He stared at the camera for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
Like, I thought he was gonna like fucking stab it with his like it was cool, but it was like weird because he took like a second to like consider what was going on before he sonic punched the.
Well, I imagine he like just woke up and he was like, "What the hell is that?"
Or that was his first encounter with deep sea recording equipment.
Yeah, but also I know I know it's like a movie thing, but they showed him long enough for you to understand that he was Jason Momoa, Aquaman. Like that was that shot. It was get it. Okay, did you get a good look at him because he's gonna be gone for the rest of the movie? And boom.
Yeah.
Also, I love the Flash bit where he's just getting milk. And there's a robbery, and like in a split second, he like takes them out and then goes out to buying his milk.
See, here's the thing: is I haven't seen enough of it to be hooked either way to definitively hate it or love it. What my big concern is, like, looking at how fucking dark they tried to make the Superman movie. I'm worried they'll have that same inclination with the Flash. That does not work for his character, really, because he kind of is he is kind of the fun member of the Justice League. And Sal, have you seen? I don't know if you've seen a lot of the DCAU Justice League, but one of his best episodes is when they actually go to Central City, I think, is where he's from, and they have Flash Day. And it's like a big celebration of how much he helps the city. And the way he interacts with his villains is like Batman if he was more obviously compassionate, where Flash is he's a superhero that's very much about helping people. He's not necessarily about fighting bad guys.
Yeah.
He's about making sure that everyone is safe and gets better. Like, one of his villains breaks out from a mental hospital and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing, man? You were doing so good. We got to get you back there." And then he takes him back to the mental hospital. And it's like, wow, that's a really good thing. But if they make it like as dark as they tried to make Man of Steel and like drastically change his character, I'm really not going to enjoy it. Yeah, but again, I can't tell that from the two tiny scenes that he's in.
Yeah, while that is a concern, I do think that to be hopeful is good, because Suicide Squad looks amazing.
I'll agree.
Because I think that even though that's in the same universe, it looks more fun. That's
my hope.
While still having the dark elements, it looks like it's going to have a lot of fun with it, but still be serious. So I think that it's when the Flash does show up more often for more scenes, he's going to be the funny character still, even in the dark universe. He's going to be the light at the end of the tunnel where everyone's brooding, but he's kind of like, yeah, that's my hope.
I definitely hope so.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ezra Miller in anything, but I mean, I'm hopeful. I think he can do a good job. I think that when seeing him in the movie, I kind of bought that. Yeah, that's Flash. Like, I buy that. Mm-hmm. Does he still have to earn my respect? Yeah, but he does look the role. He does seem like he fits it.
The mustache is weird to me, but that's a minor nitpick.
Yeah, though I do kind of like he has kind of like long hair. It looks kind of like he's just like some like college kid.
Yeah, exactly.
It's of the times. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't mind that.
I will say if Suicide Squad turns out to be not good, I talked about it with Josiah, I will like never be able to do DC Cinematic Universe marathon because Man of Steel, awful, and Batman v Superman. I still really did not enjoy. I thought the pacing also was one of the big issues with, like, this movie felt slow in a lot of parts. And then if Suicide Squad is that, then I can't do it. I can't do
I'm not gonna
6 to 7 hours of it.
I remember when you started this, you said that you hated it, but it seems like you liked it more than you let on. Not like you totally enjoyed it, but you seem to. It didn't seem like Man of Steel, where it was like, oh Jesus Christ, this movie.
I'm attempting to do more to meet you halfway, Sal, because most of our videos is me beating you with my opinion furiously into the ground. So I was checks and balances, meeting you halfway. I pointed out like all of the parts that I did enjoy, and I kind of skirted over parts that I didn't really enjoy. But like 2 or 3 times in this movie, I looked at my watch because I was like done and not enjoying large portions. I also did not get into a full-on Jesse Eisenberg rant again, which I'm proud of myself for.
Yeah, to be fair, if people noticed, I was way more assertive in this episode because people were telling me that I wasn't very assertive in my opinions, and I was like, you know what, you're right.
Exactly.
I'm looking at people's faces this episode.
Exactly. You just don't bulldoze your way, but if you feel you're not being heard, then you make yourself heard.
So I think all in all, I think I would recommend this film. Again, it's kind of like with The Witch, where go in, don't have an expectation really. Just kind of let the movie happen to you. I think that sometimes when you hate a previous film in the installment, you can go in with a certain like haze. Try to remove that if you're going into this. Try to imagine this like they're trying to. It's way better than Man of Steel.
Catch a matinee of it. I would not pay full price tickets, but see it in
I'll say
give the DC Cinematic Universe money so they could hopefully get better writers and do better.
Let Zack Snyder retire gracefully.
I'll say Man of Steel is less messy. Like it has less. It's better structured, but Batman v Superman's a lot more entertaining, and there's a lot more solid moments in it. So
and good acting.
It's a little bit jumbled, and I think a lot of the presentation falls a little flat for such an interesting concept of Batman v Superman. But yeah, ultimately characters are a little bit more like characters and not like whatever they were in Man of Steel. Except for Lois. Lois felt a little bit bland to me, but
she
didn't really do much. But I'd say it's small improvement from Man of Steel. Half quarter.
Step in the right direction at least, I think.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on one thing. There's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely.
Batfleck forever.
Yeah, Batfleck.
I will always support.
It's weird. It's a weird thing where I like Nolan's films more, but I want Ben Affleck more.
Okay, I'll be honest. I don't super love Christian Bale's performance as Batman. I think Ben Affleck is a better performer in that regards. But I do like the stories in Nolan's trilogy infinitely more.
Debatable, but yes, I'll just secede.
I'd say the majority of my dislike of Bale's Batman is just his Batman voice, because I think that gets over the top. And I love the thing that he used in Batman v Superman.
I like how Alfred uses it at one point as well.
Yes. Always good.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm glad that this went on for 2 fucking hours, but...
Almost as long as the movie.
I'm gonna cut this down a lot.
Oh.
That's not a bad thing. I didn't mind that it was long.
Make it a 2-parter.
Make it a 2-parter. This is my last resort. What? Anyway.
Alright, so yeah, thank you all for listening. We were way more civil than I think we all thought we were gonna be.
Yeah.
Also, by the way,
there was once or twice I was worried, but
I got a bit too angry, but it's just because I needed to get my thoughts out.
Exactly.
See, it's the rage that turns good podcasters cruel.
Oh my god.
It'll be a different kind of podcast. We won't be as combative. It'll be more analytical, I think.
It won't get the views though, because people come here to see me and Nathan fight. All right.
Well, shit.
Shit, dog.
Sal is not my enemy.
If there's even a 1% chance he's going to disagree with me on this podcast, we have to take it as an absolute certainty.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Oh my fucking god.